Male characters can't simply exist in 2022 without having some female to outclass them or one-up them, and a male character there's been a lot of talk about is James Bond because directors and actors have all said they want James Bond to be different and more with the times in the future. And one of the franchise producers has now come out saying their plan for him in the next set of movies is to make him more in touch with his feelings because he is evolving just as men are evolving. I have a bunch of things to show off, but before we get into the topic at hand, if you enjoy the content that I create, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Follow me on social media like Twitter or mine so that you can see when my content is posted. And of course, if you do really enjoy the videos and the live streams that I create, please consider becoming a Dark Titan via Patreon for just $1 a month or support the channel via YouTube memberships. All of the links are in the description, and of course, I do really appreciate all of the support. So this is a Bounding into Comics article that I wanted to start with. James Bond franchise producer says future films will further explore the super spy's emotional side. Bond is evolving just as men are evolving. I personally have never watched a James Bond film to see his emotional side, and I'm gonna be honest, I would not pay to see a movie where James Bond is talking about his feelings and the things that he's going through in his life. I'm there to see action, see explosions, see awesome things going on. Not this. According to the half-sibling production team currently at the helm of the James Bond franchise, the focus placed on the iconic British super spy's more emotional and vulnerable sides in his last outing, No Time to Die, was a less of a one-of look into a seldom-seen aspect of the character and more a preview of the franchise's future to come. Now, I thought that No Time to Die was a pretty solid movie, and I didn't mind more emotional and vulnerable scenes in that film, primarily because it was the last James Bond movie with Daniel Craig. It, of course, is a very emotional moment to see someone who has played this character for so long finally leave this franchise and give up this role. So I did expect it in that film, but going forward, I didn't expect to see that more, and I'm going to be honest, it makes me very worried for the future of this character. Of course, this character is supposed to represent a real person, and of course, everyone has their moments, even a super spy, I guess. But these movies are not marketed for, people wanting to see a vulnerable, emotional character. It just doesn't really make sense to me. So Barbara and Michael, who have served as the overseers of the character, spoke to their vision for Bond's future during a recent interview with Variety. Asked by the trade news outlet if they had yet to make any progress on finding Daniel Craig's successor for the role, the pair began by briefly touching upon the potential casting of Idris Alba, noting that while they loved the Hobbs and Shaw star as an actor, they understood that accepting the job was a daunting commitment for any actor. The thing is that it's going to be a couple of years off, and when we cast Bond, it's a 10 to 12-year commitment, so he's probably thinking, do I really want that thing? Not everybody wants to do that. It was hard enough getting Daniel Craig to do it, and he was in his early 30s at the time. Now, I obviously can't see who they could cast. I don't have a list of, say, 20 actors in front of me to judge. I am sure that they have plenty of options, or they will at least when they're ready to finally make this casting decision. While, yes, I do like Idris Elba as an actor, I just think that it's a couple of years too late for him to play this character. I personally just think that he's a little bit too old at this point. I mean, he's 50 now. If they don't cast him for, say, 3 more years, and then they want to have him as this character for 10 more years, it's going to be a little bit too much of a time stretch for me. I just don't think that he can really play this character unless he's only doing like a one-of movie. It says, though, the brother-sister duo then admitted that only does the process of rolling out a new Bond require a phenomenal level of dedication from whichever actor is lucky enough to land the role, but that it's also a big investment for us, too, because it's not just about casting an actor for a film, it's about a reinvention. Where are we taking it, she explained. What do we want to do with this character? And then once we figure that out, who's the right person for this particular reinvention? Now, I understand that not every single James Bond movie is going to be a copy and paste of the last, just with a different actor and a couple different dialogue lines, but at the same time, this is a little bit worrying that they're worried so much about reinventing the character. Yeah, again, I understand that each version of the character is going to be slightly different because you've got different actors, but they should all represent the original character, not just whatever they feel like works for that movie. Barbara has been part of all of the Daniel Craig films, and yes, there have been criticisms that they're different than the previous versions of Bond, but now it sounds like she wants to take the changes even further than she did even in the recent series, and from this rhetoric, it doesn't sound like a very good direction, and it'll be a very far departure from what we've known James Bond to be. Sorry if he doesn't fit into your worldview. Go and work on something different. Go create a new character or franchise. Don't twist and destroy what already exists. It says, though, however, it seems this next incarnation will be far from a complete reinvention of the character, as Variety writes that Broccoli confirms to them that the humanizing of the once womanizing spy and ensuring of more fulfilling media roles for the female stars of the franchise, done during her and her brother's handling of the franchise, will continue in the next films. Of course. It's an evolution, who in addition to serving as a James Bond producer is also the current director of the UK chapter of Time's Up. Bond is evolving just as men are evolving. I don't know who's evolving at a faster pace. Probably Bond, because Bond is a fictional character that you're just writing your bullshit into. Now, of course, as soon as I hear about Time's Up, I instantly shake my head because while, yes, I do think that women should be given equal opportunities and women should be treated fairly in industries, even the entertainment industry, I don't think that we need whole Me Too movements or Time's Up movements. And of course, this individual, as it says, is one of the, current people running the Time's Up, at least UK branch, we'll call it. They are the director of the UK chapter of Time's Up. So that instantly to me means that this next James Bond movie or series, we don't know how many movies they'll do, will be about, feminism, men are bad, misogyny is, taking over the world, and there's so much misogyny in our day-to-day lives. And when this individual is talking about reinventing the James Bond character, it's definitely worrying to me. Again, while I'm up for seeing minor changes to each version of this character, I am worried for the future of James Bond. I'm not going to buy a ticket to see a Bond movie where he's struggling with his emotions and coming to grips with the fact that he's a man and he needs to be nicer to women. I just don't think that plot is going to sell, and if they go in that direction, this franchise will die. But for now, that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.